And on this Monday, March 17th, 2025 edition of Newsmakers, a bill in the Washington state legislature would place limits on social media algorithms used by children. Brad Ford reports.
Studies show spending 3 hours a day on social media doubles the risk of mental health issues, including depression and anxiety. The legislation prevents the use of a minor's data for an algorithm designed to capture their attention. It also prevents push notifications during school hours or at night. The bill passed the Senate and now moves to the House. I'm Brad Ford.
Texas Republicans who previously voted to criminalize abortions are now going after the abortion pill. The medications are being mailed to Texas mothers by activist groups who are trying to skirt the law. Ashley Leenertz with Texas Right to Life says this can be dangerous.
A mother's not being checked for ectopic pregnancy or even guaranteeing that the abortion-inducing drugs remove all pregnancy materials that could cause infection.
Leenertz adds those sending the pills are not checking with the moms to see how far along they are in their pregnancy.
And it's more and more dangerous. The further you are into your pregnancy, the more likely you are to have complications.
A bill filed in the Texas legislature targets what the authors call the abortion industry's underground operations. It would allow private citizens to sue organizations that mail the drugs. A former pastor of a Texas megachurch has surrendered to Oklahoma authorities on child sexual abuse charges. A spokesman for the Oklahoma Attorney General's office says Robert Preston Morris turned himself in today in Osage County, where he was charged last week with 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. He's expected to make an initial appearance before a judge in May. Court records show an Osage County judge has set a $50,000 bond and ordered Morris to surrender his passport to the local sheriff. The 63-year-old Morris resigned as pastor of the Gateway Church after a woman accused him of sexually abusing her in the 1980s. Morris was known to be politically active. The church hosted President Trump on its Dallas campus in 2020 for a discussion on race relations and the economy. Morris could face up to 20 years in prison for each of the 5 charges, according to the Attorney General's office. The Vatican has released the first photograph of the Pope in a month as he celebrated Mass at a hospital chapel. Julie Walker reports.
The Vatican releasing the first photo of the Pope in more than a month, showing Francis co-celebrating Mass in the hospital chapel. The photo is taken from behind and shows Pope Francis sitting in a wheelchair in front of an altar. No one else is visible in the photo. He was admitted to the hospital February 14th with a severe case of bronchitis, which developed into double pneumonia. Meanwhile, dozens of children were outside his hospital in Rome Sunday praying for him. The Vatican says the Pope prayed for the children and thanked them in a text that said, "Our bodies are weak, but even like this, nothing can prevent us from loving." I'm Julie Walker.
It's, of course, St. Patrick's Day, with parades and celebrations being held around the country. The National Retail Federation says they expect over 60% of Americans to celebrate the holiday, spending a total of about $7 billion in the process. And that's Newsmakers for this Monday, March 17th, 2025 edition. I'm Keith Black.